Hello, how is everybody doing today? My name is Clarence Johnson III. I'm an associate certified entomologist with Bama Pest Control with more than 35 years of experience in pest control, termite, wildlife, and all other related categories in pest control. Today's topic is going to be about bed bugs. Bed bugs is an insect that's been around for a while now. It got a rejuvenation, I would say, in the mid 2000s. It became resurgent. It was once popular, I would say, in the United States back in the 20s and 30s, and stronger unregulated products at the time, and some unpractical treatment methods were taken to virtually eliminate the presence of bed bugs in the United States until uh, the mid 2000s. I think I first came in contact with them about 2007, 2008. The first encounter was in a public housing setting. In the public housing setting, uh, which is the biggest uh, area, or one of the biggest areas of concern with bed bug activity. And that's because the apartments are close together and oftentimes connected. And these small insects have an uncanny ability to be able to travel from host to host. This insect is attracted to carbon dioxide and heat. So those are the common elements found with every human being on this planet. And so that is the main driving force to why people get bed bugs, and bed bugs oftentimes hitchhike on people's persons, on their personal properties, or anything like that. We've even had cases where we found them in shoes, we found them in clothes. Um, so any type of event that you go to, anywhere where there's going to be people at, you have the potential to take bed bugs home with you. Bed bugs are prolific hitchhikers, oftentimes hitchhiking on unsuspected victims, um, simply by crawling from one uh, victim to another victim, and going back with that new victim to their home or to another place. Oftentimes, it's that single female that lays the eggs, and the eggs come out a whitish oval, they're oval shaped with a white color. And after they take their first meal, they begin to take that mahogany bloodshot color red image or color. During this time, they will attempt to feed 3 times a day, and we call this breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oftentimes, the victim will notice 3 bite incisions closely around the target area, or where the bed bug feels comfortable at and biting them. And so this process can go on for unextended periods of time until the population sometimes is large enough to be noticed by occupants or residents. And at this point, people start to doing things. Some people may do a Google search on the internet. Some people may go out and purchase a can of Raid or some type of aerosol spray to combat that problem. But on the surface, it may seem like a small problem, but when you think about it, bed bugs are about the size of a period at the end of a sentence. And in a house that's, let's say the average house is maybe 1,600 square feet. So you're looking for an insect the size of a period in a 1,600 square foot house. Now, where could this insect be at? Particularly with bed bugs, it likes to be where humans are resting and nesting, and will take an easy opportunity to feed on that victim, mainly at nighttime, typically when people are sleeping. The areas of infestation are typically around the bed or couches or areas where people sleep at. A lot of times, the bed bugs will come in for undetermined period of time, usually about a couple of months, until they've gotten their bearings about the new environment that they're in, and then they'll start to coming out of cracks and crevices at various times of night, and they can change their feeding habits based on the occupant. Let's say if you have a job or a situation that puts you out and working at night. Well, when you come home and your night may be in the daytime or in the morning time, well, the bug is going to pick up on that and say, hey, the only time I can feed is between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And so the bed bug is going to be sleeping during the time that we normally sleep, and then active during the normal time that we're active because of that changed behavior. Well, all the years of scientific evidence and documentation on bed bugs, there's never been any signs of disease that's passed along from one bed bug incident to another case. Many years ago, back in I think it was 2007, 2008, academia began the research to determine if bed bugs could be related to the HIV virus and other potential virus that humans can spread to one another. At that point, no academia university in the United States or in the world, in fact, has ever been able to say for 100% sure that bed bugs have been a carrier of any known diseases or anything like that. And so in that category, bed bugs are classified as nuisance insects, which is typically different from other piercing and sucking mouth parts such as mosquitoes. And we know that mosquitoes do carry a number of different health advisories that result in compromised immune systems with humans and even dogs and other animals. And we know with Triple E that's been out here for a while and it's been affecting people in the Mobile, Baldwin, and Washington County areas. We have health advisories period regularly from the Mobile County Health Department and other resource areas of academia, study and knowledge and best practices. And so with the bed bug, it's gonna sometimes the bite can be felt by the victim, but it's oftentimes a delayed reaction, and it's the feeding tube that the bed bugs use. It has a can't think of what it's called, but now and if you know what it is, put it in the comments section under the in the comments. If anybody knows what particular, I can't think of the name of it now, but there's a process that biting and stinging insects go through that normally allows them to inject their mouth part into a victim without the victim being aware or acknowledging that they're getting bitten by that particular insect. And oftentimes it goes unnoticed till maybe minutes and sometimes even hours later that person particularly has been bitten. And that comes into play is where we're finding out or trying to establish original sourcing of the bed bug activity. And without that original sourcing being found, you run the risk of having repeated infestations over and over again. Again, like I said, we're looking at an insect about the size of a period at the end of a sentence. And just think about looking for an insect the size of a period in your house. Well, one thing for sure, it's going to take a lot of time. Calculated the number of hours it normally takes to do a bed bug job. The hours is probably going to be 15 to 19 hours uh, for an initial treatment. Follow-up treatments could be substantially less, depending on what types of activity was found during initial infestation. And so these treatments also can become uh, very time consuming, very expensive, and very cumbersome for the infested individual to continuously have their site prepped for bed bug inspection and treatment. And so in these treatments, they generally are spot, crack, and crevice treatments designed to get to where the insect is actually living, hiding, or foraging at. And with these particular type of insects, the only thing that they eat is blood, and that's typically the blood from a human. Now, there have been cases, isolated cases and rare cases, where they will attack other livestock and domestic animals such as cats and dogs and chickens. And so they don't want to feed off cats and dogs and chicken. They prefer human blood much better than those other species of animals. And so with that, you will have a number of different type of insects that mimic or appear to be bed bugs. And so always consult with a licensed representative from a pest control company to make sure that you have correctly identified the type of insect that you want to treat. In this particular case, is bed bugs. Bed bugs have some strange things about them. One particular strange thing about them is that they tend to walk on their tippy toes. And so most insects have like pads. And so these pads that they walk on allows for them to pick up the insecticide, and virtually whatever the active ingredient is in that insecticide will allow them to pass it on through the insects various ways. It could be a contact kill, it could be a bait, or it could be a lot of different other things. And going back to a bait in bed bug work back in, I would say, the later earlier years in the 2000s, manufacturers had started to come up with different types of chemicals to combat bed bugs. And so they came up glue boards, sticky traps, and things of that nature were often utilized in the beginning with little or no results. And see, what happened is the glue boards allowed us to know in some cases that the bed bugs was there. In other cases, the bed bugs would just go under the sticky trap to evade treatment. And another phenomenon about the bed bug is that they can often go into what we call hibernation for over a 6-month period without taking a blood meal. And so oftentimes that chemical that's applied through regulatory actions provided by the Environmental Protection Agency, chemical manufacturers aren't allowed to manufacture chemicals, at least adulticide insecticides, that will be persistent in one's house over a 6-month period. And so that conflicts with the bed bug biology and behavior and the control method by allowing the bed bugs to simply wait out the chemical active ingredients and then reappear after the active ingredients have been activated. And so there's some still ongoing research and products that are being developed for bed bug control, but none that I'm aware of are going to be released anytime soon onto the consumer market. And so therefore we have a number of different products that are available within the structural pest control industry that will allow technicians and service persons to adequately make treatments to combat bed bugs and to actually monitor for bed bug activities. One of those type of instances is called climb-up interceptors. Climb-up interceptors are placed under a suspected or along the under the bed uh, legs, up under each bed leg. Some will have 4, some have 8, and you would just need to get up under the bed, look up under the bed, and find out how many pads are touching the ground or carpeted area that's up under the bed. Once you determine that, there's going to be a climb up. It could be a regular climb up or XL climb up that's going to go under each leg. Now, once the climb up's going under the legs of the bed, then you're going to be able to come by every 15 days to monitor to check for activity in those pitfall trays and the climb up interceptors. You will easily be able to see the bed bugs in the climb up interceptors, because the climb up interceptors are generally white in color, whereas the bed bugs are mahogany and red after they take a blood meal. And it's after they take a blood meal, then they'll go through several different instar stages before they reach adult, and each stage they're taking a blood meal. And so there's 4 different ways that you can identify bed bugs: live bed bugs, dead bed bugs shed skin, and blood casts. Blood casts are the fecal material that is excreted, kind of like our urine or feces is with the bed bug. And so they're going to leave these little red spots all over mattresses, pillows, and any other areas that they're having heavily infested. That's one telltale sign. Another one is, like I said, the live bed bugs themselves, dead bed bugs, and also bed bugs shed their skin. So they go through different instar stages, and when they go through each instar stage, they shed that old skin and develop a newer hard skin. And so oftentimes this skin that's left behind is one of the identifying factors that help us to determine the activity or presence of bed bugs in a particular environment. Bed bug work is generally an initial treatment and anywhere between 3 to 5 follow-up inspections. The heavier the follow-up, the heavier the items are in a house or an apartment, the more follow-up treatments are generally required. So oftentimes we ask the people to try to minimize the things that are in their home or presence, which will greatly increase the inspection time and also minimize any missed opportunities, because bed bugs can and will hide anywhere. Like I said earlier, I found them in shoes, I found them in closets, I found them in kitchens, I found them in bathrooms. So anywhere where humans could be at or close approximation, you'll find bed bugs. They've been found on public transportations. They've been found in cabs. They've been found in movie theaters. They've been found in restaurants. So anywhere, churches, anywhere where humans congregate, bed bugs have the potential and possibly will be in that particular environment. And so bed bug work should not be treated by lay people, in my opinion, because one is the chemical toxicants that are released within your in-house, what we call your in-house air quality, and that can be greatly diminished, compromised, or even exposed due to overexposure to potential chemicals, exposure to potential chemicals, cross-contamination of potential chemicals. And these are a lot of things that licensed people will know and understand and have some sort of idea as to what's going on and how to combat those things that are going on, while simultaneously providing great service. And so if you're out there and you're having a particular bed bug problem, I would highly recommend that you would contact a professional, work with that professional, try to minimize the things in your living area that are allowing safe harbors for the bed bugs. because if you don't work with that pest control company to eliminate harborage areas, that's going to be more area that the inspector is going to have to inspect. And after some point, everybody has their threshold. And you don't want to provide a lot of work for any particular technician to do or anybody to do, because that just gives them more reason or more room to have failure. And so I always like to say the customer or the client works hand in hand with us as we attempt to manage and eliminate the bed bug process. And it cannot solely be done by one individual or one company. It has to be a partnership between the homeowner and the pest control company. Each one has their own set of things that they need to take care of in order for the two to come together to work in a good common fashion to have good resolution in bed bug treatment and control. And so with this, I would like to say thank you for watching. We hope that you don't have problems, but if you do, we're always available to consult with you or even come out to take an inspection and or to treat for you. If you have any questions or anything like that, please comment below or send all email to asktheexpert@bamapestcontrol.com, and I will look to see you in the future, and hopefully we will get back to you with a response on your email as soon as possible. So with this one, you all have a blessed day. God bless you. See you next time.